Hi guys, Vindy, let's quickly get into this. We're gonna start with the basically the weekly time frame. Okay, remember there's a zone there created by the gap. There was another zone, in case you are wondering. There was another zone that was created by another gap previously. This one, we're looking at this. Okay, can see price broke out, retested, and then we started going up. So these gaps there were giving us, or rather giving us some nice references to what we should or shouldn't do. Okay, we spoke about this gap last week. We're talking about this, that we should see sell opportunities coming from that. Of course, other people probably were mostly focused on that. All right, but in order for price to push forward after a huge aggressive move, we might need some sort of a sell so that we get correction for more buyers. This is actually what actually happened, because this area right here is acting as a resistance. Yes, price pushed towards, landed on that zone, and gave some nice engulfing and candles there on lower time frames as entry, and came back down nicely. Okay, so this is what we actually saw happening. And then on lower time frames, yesterday I sent a very nice, very simple thingy in the form of a video to the private members to say that, just alert them that, hey, look, from there we're most likely to see price pushing up. Look for opportunities to buy there. Of course, those opportunities presented themselves in the form of an engulfing bar, okay, which is this engulfing bullish candle. Of course, price tried to push up, and that came, it was a turn off of some sort for me, because mainly I'm waiting for price to come down so that I can buy. Fortunately, before I actually walk away from this, price came down to my entry there, and we got that particular shandies, okay, because I'm not comfortable chasing candles that are big. I mean, this is a bunch of buyers who were there already before me as a buyer. Okay, so I was planning to buy at a much lower price, and then price, yes, did do that back to the entry level. So it will make sense for those who have been part of maybe the private before and all those things. It will make sense as to how we actually get those entries right, because I am a sucker for good risk to reward. I'm a sucker for good risk to reward, guys. I want to risk, from risking 2%, I want something that will give me at least 4%. We're looking at 1:2. Of course, this thing gave actually more than that up to this, because I was trading this resistance. This is actually where I went out, because I was also looking at the Monday gaps, say that there's gonna be gaps somewhere. Okay, there's gonna be gaps, because I took this thing and then I went away. Of course, I wasn't available by the time I got back. Of course, checking the markets, this thing was purely, I think it was somewhere up there, down somewhere. Yeah, this is where I scaled out. Actually scaled out, went out. It was a good trade, considering the amount of pips that I accumulated with respect to what the risk was, because I was taking a buy based on this thing. The stop losses were down there. So, like I said, I'm just a sucker for good entries and good risk to reward, because this allows me, guys, to have future losses. In my head, I'm like, okay, future losses are well taken care of, because there was an extra shandies that was made. So if I get a 1:5 shandies, okay, and I'm risking 2%, meaning I get 10% from one trade. This extra shandies that I'm getting is going to take care of what? The future losses. I always think about future losses. Will I be able to actually take care of those? That's how I actually think when I'm taking trades. Future losses, I think about losses before I think about wins. So it's a hack, some sort of a psychological hack that I do, because that will allow you not to risk everything that you have. If you have a very huge account, obviously it's much better, it's much simpler to do these things. But for those who have small accounts, of course, think about the losses before you go nuts, before you go nuts based on another video that you've seen somebody flipping a 1,000 rands into 50,000 rands. Before you go nuts, think about the losses. See if you are comfortable doing that, because you don't want to trade out of fear. You don't want to trade out of maybe FOMO or the fear of losing money. But those things comes from the actions. They come from actually what we do with the chart. what we do, our behaviors, it actually generates that kind of fear. Okay. Let me moving forward, of course, we're trying to sync this, or rather link what actually transpired last year. Let me just go back. We're trying to link this. Watch the previous video, and this is why I explained. We're trying to link this particular move. Of course, there's more that I've said on the previous video. Just watch the video to understand where this whole thing is coming from. But now I'm going to focus on this, okay, that sort of a head and shoulder shanties, which is actually almost what is happening right now. Okay, we have that sort of a hesitation. Oops, I'm trying to get my drawing tool. Okay, that, and then followed by that, or maybe you're looking at this as 1 2 3, as a one single thing instead of 5-wave structure. You're looking at that, okay, and then break, and then that head and shoulder of some sort, which is actually almost exactly as what actually transpired before. You can see a head and shoulder of some sort. So if I want to use this as a reference as to where we are going and what we should do, okay, so what I was gonna do was gonna pull a Fibonacci from here to there, Fibonacci retracement, and I'm looking for where the price turned on its way up, turned around 88, or let's say maybe around, initially tried to turn just between 78 and 88. So we can mark that zone as some sort of a reference. Yeah, okay. So this is exactly where we saw like a sort of short-term sales coming in from. So can we try to map this with the current? Can we focus based on this? Okay. Take a fib from there. We mark that region between 78 and 88. There we go. Okay. There we have it. If we have 1 2 3 head and shoulder, we're most likely to hit that area, which is not too far from the weekly zone that we've marked. The weekly zone is there, so we won't be violating the rules if we start looking for opportunities to sell up here, because this is high, this is the resistance. Okay, there's a bunch of sellers occupying almost that region up there. So this is what we might see, okay, up to that, and followed by a correction of some sort to get more buyers, and the break of that structure could come from buyers somewhere there. Of course, should we see gaps, gaps are most likely to invalidate this whole shandies. Okay, this trend line for now is no longer useful, it's just deleted. So this is what we might see, maybe a bit of that followed by a push to the upside, or maybe a gap of some sort, okay, followed by a push to the upside, maybe around that region, just not too far away from the zone. Okay, this is where we are basically going to look for opportunities to sell this thing short term, maybe in a form of zigzag of some sort, or 3 waves pattern. Then we might start looking for buys and somewhere in space. But I will update. I might update you on YouTube or Telegram, or I might update on the private members. But I am going to update as soon as price gets to this levels or comes back to this level. From there, I will update as to what we should look for in order to buy, or what we should look for up here in order to sell. So this is actually what I wanted to show you guys on smaller time frames. But if we were to look at it from higher time frames, this is where those sell positions are gonna start coming from. They're gonna come from this zone, but these are not long-term sell. These are just short-term, maybe something like that. Followed by that, we could see some cool, nice buys building up to break out the zones, approaching that level. Okay, it's possible for this thing to respect this zone. Yes, this is a resistance. Possible for it to push even back down to this. Possible, but we'll see. Keep on updating this during the week. I don't want to speculate too much, but for now, the plan is that I would like to see this thing reaching at least on H1. I would like to see it pushing up further to this, giving us taking out certain stop losses if there are stop losses hidden there. We need to see this thing at least playing there, get some short-term sell, maybe again another dip before it goes back up. That's what I'd like to see on H1. Of course, What I'm doing now, it's me looking at structure, zones or price levels where I'd like to look at those. Of course, I have to bring strategies. With maybe I personally have about maybe around 13 to 14, 15 strategies somewhere there. So I will look at which strategy to apply as soon as price reaches that, based on the nature and with nature of behavior or whatever the case might be. If price reaches that thing with the huge candles, of course I will have to look for strategies that actually accommodates that. If price reaches there in a hesitant way, or that, it will depend on how it reaches that area. Of course, I'm not just gonna say it got to that level. Say, I think this is what some of the people are doing, especially beginners. Some of you maybe you have been shown weird things out there and all that. Just be realistic in your trading. Do not just guess price. Do not just guess this thing. This is what the charts are for us to actually forecast, for us to actually apply strategies for entry. So if price gets there, I'm gonna look for strategies that are saying sell. If none of the things or rather strategies are saying sell, I'm not gonna sell, of course. Okay, because everything that I do is conditional. If it comes back there from that zone, I will start looking for opportunities to buy. None of the strategies are saying buy, I'm not gonna buy, course. So I do not just trade because price came back or and all those things. I think people have been doing that and they've been seeing fire. So this is actually how I'd like to look at this. And of course, this is mostly this short term. What I'm doing now is just short term, short term, short term until we violate those particular structures and higher time frame structures. Otherwise, we are not far away from that zone. We're just like maybe around 74% away from this particular zone. So we need to see a little bit of a push, maybe around 85, 90%. Then that's when we can start looking for opportunities to sell. So 85, 90% probably at these levels that I've projected. Okay. So that's exactly what I'd like to say. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. If you dislike, or maybe you think this guy should be selling this information, he got his 6,000 and he's not selling it. This guy dislike. If you're one of those people, um if you are here to copy exactly what you're doing and sell to your students, like yeah, to copy, like. And then if you just like what I'm doing, or you like the channel, or you like being part of the Vindi family, subscribe, like, share, do all those things. I think there's a Vindi Facebook page. Just check it out. I don't know who uses Facebook. Just check it out. Vindi Forex. I think there's a Facebook page somewhere there. And the Instagram Shandis, of course. There's no personal account for Vindi. There isn't such a thing. I can keep up with the social media Shandis and all those things, right? Can't keep up with those things, the Twitters and all those things, right? But there is a Telegram channel where you can get to interact. But please respect that space. That space is not for you to ask dumb questions. Okay, that space is not for hellos and highs. The space is for you to actually learn. The space is for you to actually learn. The Telegram channel is there for you to learn. Of course, there's content that doesn't make it to YouTube that is on Telegram. The link to the Telegram channel is below. Everything that I'm saying, it's free. Everything that I'm saying, it's free. Okay. Otherwise, sharp, and take care. Bye bye. Hi. Sharp.